Dans la phrase.
Phrase 1.
1. Anne drove to London yesterday. 2. Anne drove to London yesterday. 3. Anne drove to London yesterday. 4. Anne drove to London yesterday. 1. Anne drove to London yesterday, but I didn't go myself. 2. Anne drove to London yesterday. She didn't take the train. 3. Anne drove to London yesterday. You can't have seen her in Brighton. 4. Anne drove to London yesterday. She certainly doesn't want to go again tomorrow. Phrase 2.
1. Diana will write to her sister. 2. Diana will write to her sister. 3. Diana will write to her sister. 4. Diana will write to her sister. 1. Diana will write to her sister. I can't see why I should write too. 2. Diana will write to her sister, even if you ask her not to. 3. Diana will write to her sister. I suppose she thinks it's better than calling. 4. Diana will write to her sister, but she doesn't want to write to her brother. Phrase 3.
1. Why don't you take Jill out for a walk? 2. Why don't you take Jill out for a walk? 3. Why don't you take Jill out for a walk? 4. Why don't you take Jill out for a walk? 1. Why don't you take Jill out for a walk? You're not busy now, are you? 2. Why don't you take Jill out for a walk instead of Billy? You're always looking after him. 3. Why don't you take Jill out for a walk? It's so nice and warm today. 4. Why don't you take Jill out for a walk? I'm sure she needs some sort of exercise.